Back to the business community this week. Thanks everyone for coming through this morning. We're live to you from Channels Television, global headquarters in Lagos, Nigeria's financial capital. We hope you had a nice weekend. Let's get the market week together as we get this programming kicked off for the week. I am Bosin Omofaye. Let's take a look at what the week-long Securities and Exchange Commission market activities will start today in Lagos with the registration of hundreds of market firms and sponsored individuals. It's going to be a very busy week. So the SEC will be holding its quarterly capital markets committee meeting in Lagos tomorrow. Always take place in Lagos, the home of the market operators. Of course, we have a few of them with branches and offices spread across Nigeria, but Lagos is our own broad street where the market lives. So we're going to be all over the SEC this week with the registration of the market participants. We're going to have a few questions for Munir Guazo and the rest of his team later this week, on Thursday to be precise, when they hold a media briefing, and then we're going to put all that report for you. It's going to be a very busy week with the SEC looking at that meeting, and we're going to discuss that a little bit later on the program today. We're looking at the SEC's second quarter meeting, as well as what the SEC should be doing to rev up the size of domestic investors in our market, and of course the various securities laws still pending before the National Assembly. That's as far as the SEC is concerned. Meantime, we are awaiting the July inflation report from the Bureau of Statistics that we're expecting to be in anytime this week. Meantime, we have a forecast from FSDH Research Group forecasting a decline to 15.06% in the month of July against 16.10% when the month of June report came in. That's going to be a little bit of a shade there. And where would that come from? The research company or group says they see lower inflation on some food and non-food items, including the cost of housing, water, electricity, and gas. That's all about that. When the inflation data comes in, we're going to add that to what will be the trading themes for the current business week. Then over the weekend, the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry fired what you call friendly shots at the National Assembly. Both the Senate and the House of Reps, a 4-page press statement released on Sunday by the largest and the oldest Chamber of Commerce in Nigeria, requests, that's how the press statement says, requests the Senate and the House of Reps to exercise greater discretion with their investigative powers. And why? This says this will avoid distraction to the private sector and prevent erosion of investors' confidence and damage to the Nigeria's general economy. That's what the SEC says in summary. And reason was simple. The LCC, the Lagos Chamber of Commerce, says they've noticed the various summons and petitions and public hearings by the National Assembly almost on a daily basis. And the Chamber says this is becoming distracting to investors and the companies involved. So they would want the National Assembly or the legislators to ensure that these allegations and petitions they received are properly verified for their credibility before presenting such allegations and petitions to the media. There were two examples cited in the press statement by the LCCI. Well, first is the allegations that 30 trillion naira in revenue was missing over the last few years, and another allegation that there were 288 vessels missing via the Nigerian Ports Authority care over the last couple of years. These two allegations, according to the LCCI, were very grave and they require proper scrutiny before they are brought into public notice. The Chamber, therefore, says it's not happy with the public listing of names of companies, sometimes dozens of them, that are perhaps alleged to have been involved in this misconduct, including the frequency of the National Assembly. Someone says the number of times the issuing summons to companies are getting a little bit too much. So they need to specify the summons and not general allegations that ABC company are involved in, and you need to step forward. Then enough notice of appearance, because to gather data and appear before the National Assembly requires gathering data and documents that will be used to support for or against. Then the summons and public hearings between the Senate and the House of Reps should be streamlined so that there's no duplication of functions and summons and public hearings and probes by the National Assembly. And that's just one big story there. We're going to track that for you in the week. Meantime, let's look at the markets very quickly. This is how we finished up on Friday. The stock exchange added about 0.2%. We're holding on to our 38,000, nearly 38,200. And the market cap at 13,166. Trading volume 353.64 million on Friday. That's quite a little bit above our daily average. Then the Naira value was also in tune with what we've seen in recent times, in recent months, as far as the market bullish sentiment is concerned. Deals also on track, 4,079 on Friday. These are the subsectors, the top 5 that we track for you. This is a bit of a representative of the entire segments of the market. The banks added 0.2%. That was in the week when Zenith Bank came in with very historic profit never seen before in that commercial bank. One of the big 5. We're expecting the big 4 to report before the end of this week, or at least some of them this week. Consumer goods was also in the green slightly. Industrial goods was much better than the rest of the big 5. The insurance lost 0.32%, and oil and gas down about 1%. Sorry, that's again 0.57%, and you're going to see the big 4 among the big 7 that were responsible for that, Forty Oil and the rest of them. Look at the NASD OTC market. Take that in. Okay, thank you. That's unchanged on Friday. That's a lackluster Friday. And why? You can see the readings on the second page.